Alright, today I got a whole bunch of stuff because Monday is usually a good mail day, but it hasn't been for a long time, so I got some good stuff in. Some of it's previous mail days, and we'll get to that in just a second here. The bin store was very crazy because I like to do Mondays, but unfortunately I bought something for 10 bucks, didn't fit in the car, and I had to return it and just say, sorry, I'm redonating it. It was pretty neat, but can't deal with it. My friend wasn't there with his truck. He hasn't been there for like a week or so, so don't know where he has gotten off to there, but unfortunate things happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. There was lots of Amazon, pallet type stuff, Temu type things there. Tons of stickers. I don't know who this doctor is, but there's some punny ones there, I guess. All kinds of "you are fat," and again, I don't know who this doctor is, but anyway, there's all of that fun stuff there, and big packets of it, packets and packets of that. Some people found that hot chip challenge thing, brand new in the package, still good. Bunch of dinosaur stickers, whether I choose to use them or not, and a whole bunch of Zelda-like stickers there, so very, very cool. They're hard to peel off, but they're good for autograph requests, and that's what I use them for. So there's that one there. And then I found some other little bits and bobs there. I don't have everything to show, unfortunately, but we'll get into the cards here because that's what people are here for. Unfortunately, we got Lanny Watkins, and somebody has RTS'd me, and it says WADK 315, so Watkins 315, so I better look up, and maybe I used to use the wrong address. I don't know. But, what I don't understand is, like, these basically ruined addresses, why are they still up there for people to use? Because I've seen people on Sports Card Forum use the wrong address time and time again, and it's very, very easy to. I don't know which forum I use that from, but probably Star Tiger. Now we got 3 autographs, actually 4 autographs. We have Craig Robinson. So Craig Robinson ballpoint pen, 1974 Topps on Phillies. That's a good one there. Then we have one, this guy sent me a very nice letter talking about the Portland what do you call it? The hockey team there, the Portland Winterhawks here, and this is Terry Ruskowski. So very, very cool, very nice. And I got this from my 83-84 set, nice and silver Sharpie there, and he let it dry. So very, very cool there to have that one there, Terry Ruskowski. And then we have one more from Ted Sizemore. I think Ruskowski came from Dallas, Texas or whatever. And we have Ted Sizemore on the St. Louis Cardinals for 74. So anybody's doing 74 sets, there's 2 right there. And then the 73 sets here, this is Ted Sizemore on the St. Louis Cardinals, very, very cut wrong, which I've had for probably over 20 years. I just bought that because it was goofed up here. I don't know if that was Joe Torre down here or who that was. I really don't remember who that was. But if anybody knows, put it down below there. And there is the back of the card. Oops, upside down here, but there we go right there. And then we have 2 buybacks for the the Poor Man's Stack, Shane Shoebox Legends, crazy set of buybacks. These were basically $3 each, essentially including the shipping. So I spent not even $7 on these. And there is Topps Maya with Jay North from Dennis the Menace there. It says Topps American Pie in silver there. These were not necessarily listed as American Pie buybacks, so I got that one for like $1, $2 plus shipping. Boy in Bombay from Maya, and this is card number 2. So that will go in my Maya set. I actually have a complete set that I bought 20 or 30 years ago, and guess what? I meant to buy just like a partial lot, and they sent me the entire set. And so I was like, this is great. And then I have one from 1978 Paramount Pictures Corporation, which is Mork and Mindy, and it's foil stamped right down there. It's not any character you care about, but there were people that were super collecting these sets, and some of them never came to market until they had to dump their sets. I saw some guy that had super collected a whole bunch of these. Maybe he bought cases of these things. There's a puzzle back there. That's probably part of the music store, I'm guessing. I don't really remember. And so this is card number 68. I have 2 or 3 buybacks from this set here. Some of them are, 70th anniversary or whatever those things are. And there is all that. Now I have some extra time. We don't need to talk about yesterday's video because I went through all of that. Again, I didn't have everything in a row to show you all, but we'll do the best we can. Then I got Impact in Cardboard here from Historic Images. I got a photograph. I spent a little bit too much, but that's what you do when you want a photograph for whatever happens to be the reason. Sometimes there's no reasoning for wanting the photograph. Sometimes you just say, you know what, it's unique and unusual, and I need to add that to my collection. And of course, my PBS binder here. I've noted that I'm missing some photographs. They are lost in the sea of other binders here. Don't really know. One of them is, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he has like a film reel behind it. I'll have to look and see if I can find that in a previous video here. I'm gonna just see if I can get to, I don't know. It's not here, so I don't know. That's just a bunch of other stuff here. I just happened to be in a search here. PBS photographs for sale. Again, you have to be careful about any inappropriate images here, but you know, that's just what YouTube or eBay likes to do. And of course, I got Arthur books here. I'm not looking for Arthur books. Anyway, so there is my binder, and I got a new one to add to it here. So we'll show you that in just a second here, and it will pertain to what I have at the beginning of the screen, little graphic that I showed with you. And this is San Antonio. It just says San Antoni. It doesn't fit on there. It's like, why would you want this random weird photograph from San Antonio? It's basically an 8x10. Minor damage to it. It had the Historic Images logo somewhere around here, and I can see where it was. It left a mark there, a discoloration mark. And none of these stickers, you know, like James Spence stickers, if you try to remove the James Spence authentication stickers, they will basically destroy the item. And these used to not destroy the item, but some of these have been on the items for a very, very long time, so they get harder and harder to peel in some cases. And then some of the photographs, and I'm not making this up here, because I had one that was in a frame, and it either reacted to the light or the glass, and the Historic Images logo that used to be there was on a sticker that I had removed, and then the sunlight or something had come through and did Historic Images decal and put a big imprint and watermark on the photograph, and you could see that. It says Historic Images all backwards and a cup, and you could see where previous stickers had been. So they had changed the stickers at some point, maybe, and moved this one and this one or whatever, changed the price or some kind of, you know, catalog description. You could see all the places because there was residue that was on there. So I had to go through and figure out how to remove all the residue, because if any light comes to this, it might leave a damage to that full front there and ruin the photograph, and a not replaceable photograph. So this is KLRN San Antonio, and this is their pledge break slash auction or whatever, and you can see all the phone lines are open there, and you know, they're celebrating some event there, and I'm guessing this is from, I know it's from the 70s, but is it from 70 or is it from 77? You know, it just looks too late to be from 77. I'm guessing at least 75. When did people stop wearing, you know, corduroy jackets that look like professor jackets, you know? And then this guy here has kind of a, I won't say Austin Powers look to him, but he just kind of has, you know, kind of like a, you know, Monty Python 70s kind of, you know, look to it. I don't know why, but it just does. And I'm trying to get ideas from the hairstyles and the other people in the background there, or the kind of clothing they're wearing, but it is right smack into the 70s. And I'm guessing somewhere between 72 and 75 is my guess there. And the logo I showed at the beginning was from around 76, 5, I don't remember exactly when. So I just had to have it. There's no other markings other than KLRN auction. So that came from, I can't remember, it was from Houston, or sorry, a Houston or San Antonio, Dallas type newspaper. I cannot remember which one that they said it came from, but you know, again, it's something that I will never find another copy. Most of the PBS photographs that I have in my collection here are mass marketed ones. So that was just used for that particular station there, and those can be very expensive. As I showed you these before, and I've added some more pages, added a few more things here. In fact, I added my Ken Burns photograph, if I haven't shown that one there. To Henry, best wishes, Ken Burns. And I got a nice letter from his assistant saying, guess what? This is how we used to edit film back in the old days. Very cool little letter and documentation with that one. And it's a Civil War back here. So the Civil War right there. Very, very cool. But again, I'm going to show you a couple things in here. Again, like even this one here is a mass marketed photograph, so you will see more of those, you know, and I have a few more from that series on the way. So that's very cool there, so I'm glad to have them all together. And even some of these other mass marketed ones here, This one here, where the 321 Contact Gang is all kind of lined up like penguins with a penguin down here. And there are more of those for sale now. There's like a third or fourth one for sale I've seen. So this is like the third, fourth, or fifth time that I've seen that particular photograph. It's not a very popular one because all of the original 321 Contact Gang, I just had that one here just a minute ago. If I can get to it here. All the original ones have been all purchased by people. Every one of them. So there is Lisa, Mark, and Trini, I believe. Liz Moses is her name, and Ginny... Oh, I can't think of her name. Ginny something or Ortiz, and then this guy here. I can't think of his name right now. I tried to get his autograph, but I couldn't do it. I almost found her to send some sort of picture, but again, this picture is all of probably $50 now to get that particular picture. People have fond memories of those two ladies, especially this one right here. And then there's like, who's this guy? Chopped liver. Yeah, pretty much. But that was one of my favorite shows growing up there, and I'm glad I got that before the price hike and the boom, the photograph boom. So again, some of the pictures are going down in price because they're just not warranted anymore. But I have lots on the order, and eBay was so difficult because you had to go in this category and this category, and pictures were being removed and added and blah blah blah. And so I found virtually nothing in the $10 or less category. But that's where I want to stay until I can decide that I really want to photograph. You know, there's another one from this particular event or a similar type of event. Do I want that other one to go with this one? Probably. Not unless they had like some sort of 75% off sale, then I would take it. But as if they're not going to do that then. And again, I did not realize some of the historic images stores, you know, basically take up, they got historic images 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They got historic finds and reframed and R Fleet Jr. and Coots Imagery and all these other ones that are all located in Tennessee. And it's crazy how many stores they have. So it's like COMC on eBay. You can't get away from them. You just can't get away from them. There's nothing you can do about it. But again, they hold all the big and then there's some other smaller places that have had some after-school special ones and PBS type photographs that I've been eyeballing for a very, very long time. Again, I'm not about to go and spend $5 and $10 on everything that I ever wanted. I've mentioned this many, many years ago because I just go broke, and then people are like, well, this doesn't look like much of a collection. You know, if I found this at a Goodwill store, it would be in the bins and it would be being damaged and damaged and damaged and damaged. And again, I found a super rare picture of, I can't think of her name right now, very famous actress, and she did a movie or some sort of project in Oregon, and I cannot think of her name, back in the 70s. It was not Sophia Loren. Who was it? Oh, I can't think of it. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, that was going to be thrown away, and I saved it. You know, nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that photograph, even for like a few cents. You know, so like, why are you paying $25 for some, almost $25 for this photograph? Because I guess it's just what I wanted to do at the time. And I felt like I had a couple extra dollars at that time. Again, I'm dialing it back now, dialing it back and dialing it back, you know, so I can afford to make a $10 mistake. So that's pretty much all I have there. I picked up some CDs because when I have to have certain CDs for a project that I'm doing, you know, when I do packages and stuff like that, I'll mail out CDs with them. And so I bought this one thrift store out of all the CDs that they had of a certain genre for 25 cents a piece. And they were happy to sell them. And they probably sat there for an awfully long time. If CDs are the hottest thing on the planet right now, why are CDs sitting at shelves for 25 cents and not being moved? That's the thing. Then they had like probably 3,000 or probably, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 or more records, and they were all sitting for $1 a piece. No understanding why any of them are still there. You would think that they'd be gone, but no. That's all the kind of genre, every genre outside of rock and roll and jazz for the most part. All of those genres were there. Every single genre. And guess what? None of that sells. None of it. You could have 3,000 records and not even get $1 a piece. So you might as well just take them to the dump and get rid of them. And then you'll end up with more and more and more and more and have to take another trip to the dump. Again, if you have the room for the store for 3,000 records or whatever it was, I couldn't count. It was a lot. And it might even be closer to 5,000 records. But again, this particular, it doesn't seem like, you know, a couple of shelves would hold that many records. But if you can't every single bay, and if they have, you know, 20 bays or 30 bays or whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 this way, 15 this way, 15 this way, 15. Multiply that times, 50, and that's a lot of records. That is a crazy amount of records. And again, that takes up a big portion of your store that is not moving. It's not helpful to the environment but again, it might bring people in, but the record people are only buying records. The CD people are only buying CDs, and so forth. Somebody comes in looking for a diner table, they're not looking for CDs or records. Sometimes they'll be looking to spend a couple extra cents to make the store feel good, but that doesn't happen. So that is all I have for today. I am happy to have another addition to my collection. Everything is slowing down because of September, October, November, December. Be very, very slow. If I get anything else, I'll try to combine it in another video, but the card content has just got to go. It's got to go, and it's got to go now, because I have really not much interest. I still comment on a few videos here and there, just to make, kind of just keep things on an even keel. So 16 minutes of your time has been wasted, and thank you for watching.